we're back with the second episode of MobiusPick.
Right.
This is Daniel, and I'm Brad.
We're going to be doing Brad's Black Rock Mountain Adventure, a Hearthstone adventure. And we're going to be talking about a little bit of stuff. Yesterday we used some terms. Some people kind of didn't know as well. But before that, we're going to... Ooh, fancy stuff. We're going to open up my old loot crates from this week. So last week? I don't know. Let's get big. Let's grow. Take that magic mushroom.
Oh.
It's not
apparently
open?
It's not open yet.
Oh! Well, we're dumb. If we could run this, that'd be super sweet. We get a lot of views if we were running this before anyone else, which we can't.
All right. So look at that. This is what we can't get.
Let's read some of these. Let's see how they sound.
All right.
Let's start at week 1. What do we got?
Grim Patron. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon another Grim Patron.
Wow, that's a really good card with
the mage ability.
Yeah, and a lot of ones. It's annoying. Costing 5, you really have to build around it, but...
Gang up. Choose a minion. Shuffle 3 copies of it into your deck.
That seems less good.
Well, so I do like this card because a lot of times I see a strategy where all they do is try to have you draw cards until you die from fatigue. All they're doing is gaining life the entire time. They're not really trying to damage you.
Yeah, but it's not a card I normally want in my deck. Because it's a bad card unless you're playing that deck, right?
Well, hopefully someone will find some cool use for it. It'd be neat to have 3 copies of, say, a legendary that you play early.
Yeah.
Summon a random friendly minion that died this game. Resurrect.
Wow. Well, if you only play really, really good minions...
Yeah,
like,
or if you
deck?
play a creature, it dies, and then you immediately play this, and those are the first 2 things you play.
Yeah, but I mean, that means you're getting a 1 or a 2 drop normally. Like, the only time it seems really good is if you're all control spells and just sweet cards that paying 2 get you a big... I mean, as soon as your deck is 4 drops and up, it's not terrible.
That's true. And then the Emperor. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. And I believe this probably stacks and stays the case forever. So I guess the longer you have it, the better it is. And it's a 5/5 for 6, which is not terrible anyway.
Yeah. It's an interesting card.
So I guess we'll do more weeks in the weeks to come as we actually get to play this.
Yeah.
So let's do another draft then.
Alright. We'll hold off on the loot crate for whenever.
Alright, this time we have Rogue, Warlock, or Paladin. Paladin is rated very good, so I guess we'll be going with that. It's also one of my personal favorite classes to play. So.
Right, it has good card quality, and the ability is very relevant. You can do a lot of work with 1/1 when everyone else's card quality is lower. Alright, we've got 3 cards here. It's Emperor Cobra, Nuburian Egg, and Cold Light Seer. And Cold Light Seer was one of the cards we were talking about earlier about being... Oh wait, no, that's not the one that you draw cards. It's still the last card, because it's 3 for a Q3. It's not very good.
Cold Light Seer is rated a 10. Nerubian Egg is rated a 40, actually, which is a little surprising. And an Emperor Cobra is probably rated the highest at 64. Yeah.
The Nuburian Egg...
Explosions. They happen.
We live in an explosion city. The Nuburian Egg had a higher up rating for beginning because it's easier to build around, get it killed faster, but, you know. Here it's going to be Stranglethorn Tiger, Scarlet Crusader, and then Shattered Sun Cleric, I think. The Shattered Sun Cleric is very close to Scarlet Crusader, I'd assume. They're both very good 3 drops.
So the Tiger is a 66. The Scarlet... can't top. Scarlet Crusader is a 68, so slightly above it.
Oh, wow.
And then the Shattered Sun Cleric is a 70, actually.
Wow, I was really off there. There's a lot of value to be had in those guys. The fact that they're beating out that stealth guy is very impressive.
So I guess we'll just go with the highest pick on this one?
For sure. No, I definitely think the Sun Shattered Cleric's great here. Giving +1/+1 to even just our 1/1s is fine. I'm assuming it's Acidic, Swamp Ooze, and then Infiltrator, and then Rifleman.
The Infiltrator is a 60. The Acidic Swamp Ooze is a 66. And then the Iron Forge Rifleman's a 28. So I was kind of expecting the Ooze to be quite high.
Yeah, the Ooze it's a potential 2-for-1. It's not guaranteed, but the floor on it, well, I mean, floor is worst case scenario, is so high. At the very worst, it's 2 for a 3/2, and that's fine. And has the upside of sometimes being amazing. And the opposite for ceiling is best case scenario for a card. When you're building a deck, you want to focus more on your floor and less on your ceiling. Micro Machine has an amazing ceiling, right? It could literally be 102, right? 50 turns in the game. It's a 100 power creature, but that's not really what it's going to be. Usually it's going to be a 2/2 or a 3/2, and it's going to trade. Here it's going to be Stormwind Champion, I think Frost Wolf Warlord in the Micro Machine?
Yeah, Stormwind Champion 78, Frost Wolf Warlord 66, and then Micro Machine is a 56. So go with the champion.
Alright, so here we're going to go with wow.
It's probably Zombie Chow.
It might be Light's Justice, it might be Zombie Chow. Light's Justice isn't quite as powerful. It looks like it could be a 4 for 1, but realistically this card is you trading one of your creatures and some life to kill something. It's more of a 1 powered buff to whatever attack you want than it is a 2 for 1. Still, it's good. I would be happy to take Light's Justice or Zombie Chow here.
Zombie Chow is rated a 70. Eye for an Eye is rated a 4, about what I was expecting, and Light's Justice is rated a 52, about in the middle. So I'm going to go with Zombie Chow.
Alright, so Shielded Minibot seems pretty good. I'd assume Shielded Minibot's the highest, then Iron Fur Grizzly, and then Voodoo Doctor.
Shielded Minibot 78. Iron Fur Grizzly. Fur Grizzly is a 46, and then Voodoo Doctor is rated as terrible, and it's a 26.
Still one of the best 2 powered guys. Other than a couple that are very good that give either extra attack or something like that. Alright, here it's probably going to be Hammer of Wrath, so followed by Shielded Minibot, and then Blessing of Might. Blessing of Might is surprisingly good. It looks like a very bad card, but in Paladin, you can put it on one of your 1 toughness cards, so you get to use an ability, your hero ability, plus a card to trade 1 for 1. You get to make a 4/1 essentially and just kill something. It's like a bad kill spell.
Yes, Shielded Minibot's rated as 78. We just talked about that one. The Hammer of Wrath is rated as 70. And the Blessing, B-L-E, if I could type, Blessing of Might is rated a 46. So the Shielded Minibot wins here on just pure ranking, but to build our deck, we could really want either. This many picks in, probably doesn't matter all that much.
Yeah, let's just get more Shielded Minibots. There's probably more removal to be had, hopefully. Oh, another Shielded Minibot. Now here might be the time we pick the Cult Master. I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of Divine Shield counts for a lot. That can represent a lot of 2 for 1s.
Yeah, so Cult Master is rated as 72 and Shielded Minibot's a 78.
So they're close enough that we should probably... I think I'd rather have Cult Master with Paladin. Just being able to throw 1/1s into cards seems really good. And the third Shielded Minibot, there is diminishing returns for most cards, and without synergy, Shielded Minibots are fine, but they're not going to win the game by themselves.
Yeah. I'm fine with either one of these picks, really. So
I just like the Cult Master to go turning our we can just make a guy and kill it. It's just nice. Alright, so Shielded Minibots are bots, and we have a couple. I'm assuming it's Clockwork Gnome, Hand of Protection, Silverback Patriarch.
Clockwork Gnome's rated a 42. The Silverback. The Silverback's actually rated a 4.
It seems higher than that. It seems okay. It doesn't seem great, but it doesn't seem like one of the worst cards.
And then the Hand Protection's rated a 40. So
yeah, the Clockwork Gnome is the highest, and it's fine. Gold Light Oracle was the card we're talking about later. And it's a card that we were talking about tempo at one point. Tempo is the pacing of the game, right? You can win by card advantage, which Brad explained last time, which is having more physical or virtual cards worth of actual cards and effects, right? If a card says, put 2 creatures into play, you essentially got 2 cards from 1 card, unless they're very, very bad creatures. So that's a virtual card advantage. Or if you play a spell that says draw 2 cards, it's physical card advantage. Tempo's the other part of that, right? It doesn't matter how many cards you have in your hand if you die. And Cold Light Oracle is a bad tempo play because it lets your opponent... You both draw 2 cards, and you do get a 2/2, but what you don't get is to play those cards first likely.
yes. Not to mention, you're playing a card to give yourself 2 cards and to give them 2 cards. So you're putting yourself behind on just pure card draw. Not to mention, he's a little overcosted because of his battle cry. He's 3 mana for a 2/2, whereas you'll notice Mind Control Tech's 3 mana for a 3/3 and has a more relevant ability of taking one of your opponent's minions if they control 4 or more. So it's really easy to set up. And so it's actually rated a 68. And I've seen it take I've seen it take a card take a creature almost every time it's played, because people generally just don't play it until they can get that effect.
Alright, so we've got 3 good cards here. Seal Light's probably the best one.
Seal Light rated at 50.
Wow, it's just right in the middle. It does do 2 damage. We gotta just kill something. I like it quite a bit. I guess that puts
the Berserker's rated at 58, and the Direwolf Alpha is rated at 52. So either one of these is pretty good.
I like the Direwolf Alpha more. We have more creatures. We're going to have more shielded mini-bots, the Emperor Cobra, that kind of stuff.
And there's very few ways to get the Enrage ability to actually do anything. Now, the 3rd Toughness would go really well with the Rage, obviously. So that's probably why it's rated a little bit higher.
It does. And with us having the ability, if we had Divine Shield cards, it's good too, because you can take the damage, and then you can Divine Shield it, and then they have to respond to it, but we don't have those pieces. But we do have pieces to make creatures.
So Direwolf Alpha it is.
Alright, these cards seem terrible. None of these cards are cards I want to put in my deck.
Priestess of Elune is rated a 30. Restoring 4 health to your hero very seldom means anything, and its stats are very underwhelming for its costs.
I think it's only a 30 because the 4 health can help you race. That's it. I think that's actually a lot of its decent part.
Repentance, you're kind of relying on them for their next card to be worth making its helpful 1.
So this is an interesting card because you don't actually want to play it at 1. It costs 1 because it's a small effect. It's a card you want to play on turn 7 and you play your 6-drop. So when they play their 7 or 8-drop, it becomes 1 toughness. It's probably the best card overall. Hand of Protection can be as well.
Yeah, Hand of Protection is rated slightly higher, and I think it's because if you have any really good minion, giving it Divine Shield for 1 more is a very good ability.
Yeah, so we should go with the Hand of Protection. It's the most reliable card, right? I mean, we're talking about Sealing Floors again with the card that changed the toughness to 1. The Sealing is, you get to change a 10 toughness creature to 1, but realistically, it's just a random card.
Alright, so Avenge. When one of your minion dies, give a random friendly minion +3/+2.
It's a better one because it turns any minion into something decent. The only time it's bad is when you only have 1 minion. I don't know if it activates then.
I don't know if it does either, actually. I don't think anything will cast if it doesn't have a target in this game.
That's nice.
So I'm not positive though. So the Harvest Golem, summoning another creature when it dies, is rated at 72. Avenge was, I believe, at 52.
Yes, the Harvest Golem, again, it's just a 2-for-1. You don't get it up front, but you're essentially paying 1 extra to get a 2/1, but it's packaged into 2 cards, and that's, again, the virtual cards we were talking about.
And the Hand of Protection we just talked about is rated at 40. Another chance to get another Hand of Protection. So all I'm going to look up is Hammer of Wrath again.
Yeah, Harvest Golem versus Hammer of Wrath. Harvest Golem is much higher, but we have to decide if we want drawing spells.
Yeah, Hammer of Wrath's actually rated at 70.
What's going on the cam here? We're having a strobe party.
That is weird. Okay.
And
I bet I shook the table or something.
I think it was just your magic hand just fixed it.
Well, either way, maybe I can win us some games like that. All right. Moving on, Hammer of Wrath, deal 3 damage, draw a card. Seems to be the best option here.
Yeah. All right. So Dancing Sword is a card I actively don't like. I really don't like it. It has too much of a downside for the power and toughness. If it costs 2, then you're looking at a card that the tempo of having a 4/4 on turn 2 or even on turn 1 outraces the downside of giving your opponent card advantage. But that's not normally the case, and that's not the case here. Getting 1 additional stat, which is what you're getting for this cost, is definitely not worth a card.
Yeah, so both of these are actually rated quite lowly. The best one of all these is Light's Justice, and I really don't like it. So I guess we'll just take the best of the poor options.
Light's Justice can be okay. I mean, we can make the 1/1s. We can, it turns into 1 additional damage. People are put into positions, especially in limited of having 1 toughness creatures. So, you know.
Alright, so Guardian of Kings. I like this card. The Restore 6 health can help you, but really it's 5-6, and it is a bit overcosted, but restoring 6 health is usually enough to pay that extra 2 or so that you're paying for it.
Right, and that's we see the stats again, right? With the 5-4 we had, very poorly rated, but a 5-6, that 2 extra toughness changes the league. 4 toughness is the make or break. Anything with above 4 toughness is very well rated. Anything below 4 toughness isn't, and it has to do with the distribution of creatures' power. You'll see a lot of creatures' powers 2, right? And that means any 2-powered creatures can easily trade with this much better creature.
Yeah, so we already talked about this one, 40, and this one's actually rated an 8. Very bad.
Alright, so here's probably going to be Mechanical Yeti, Fairy Dragon, and Southsea Deckhand, in that order.
Southsea Deckhand's rated a 28.
One of the better pirates. Pirates are kind of bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen a pirate deck yet.
The rogues get a good pirate deck. That was the good rogue deck that I built. Had a lot of pirates in it.
Fairy Dragon's rated a 56. And Mechanical Yeti is rated a 78.
It's rated equal with Chillwind Yeti because essentially they're the same. The spare parts are random, so it's not any better or any worse. And in fact, Mechanical Yeti is slightly better of a card from being a mech if you have a mech theme running. And that can happen.
Yeah, I don't believe Chillwind Yeti actually has any sort of creature type.
Other than Yetis. Let's see. Noble Sacrifice seems like it would be okay. Undertaker's just a build around me card. We don't have enough death.
It is a build around me card. So the Dragonlane Mechanic's rated a 40. 2-4 for 4. It's not terrible that summons another creature.
Right, you're getting the 2 out, and you're paying a lot for it, right? You wouldn't pay 2 mana for a 2-1, and you would pay 2 mana for a 2-4 maybe, but you wouldn't pay 3. So you're getting less than the total value, but that's okay because it's across multiple bodies, which can make a big difference.
And then Noble Sacrifice rated a little higher than I thought it was, at a 44.
So it's the highest.
And then Undertaker's rated a 12. So.
Yeah, Noble Sacrifice lets us set up essentially a situation where it has Taunt automatically. You get to take an attacker out. Not necessarily super great. It's hard to synergize with, but it protects you for a turn.
So I'm not sure which one of these 2 we want for our deck. Our curve is very weird. We've got almost equal 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. So
I think I'd rather just have Noble Sacrifice. I really just am not impressed with paying 4 mana for a body that can trade with a 1 toughness creature. Anything can trade with 1 toughness. And it's just not what you really want. Noble Sacrifice can't be interacted with, so you're always going to get that good block in.
That's true. That's true.
Alright, so it's...
Wow.
It's Tauren Warrior and 2 of the worst cards ever, so Tauren Warrior wins by a terrible landslide.
It's
the least melted candy bar on the concrete for us right now.
Yeah, the mage is rated about a 12. The shield bearer, I think, is rated even lower. So.
If we had synergy or needs for any of these cards, it would be okay, babe. If we desperately needed a taunt card, we would pick the taunt card. If we had any damaging spells, like 2 or 3, it would probably be the spell damage card. But we don't have those.
I suppose if we desperately needed a 1-drop taunt card, because this one also has taunt.
It's true.
So,
it's a really good
Alright, 11 more picks. And we get a rare.
Alright. Cobalt Guardian has potential. Deathlord is a card I actively don't like. It does buy you a lot of time. It's above stats because it's a 2/8 with taunt for 3. But the Death Rattle lets you put your opponent a card from their deck into play at random. And that can be very, very bad. Best case scenario, they get a card that's like a 2 or a 3. And it's not that important, but it's still a loss of cards for you. I actually think it's just Cobalt Guardian here. We have quite a few mechs.
So actually call it Scarlet Purifier is rated higher.
What's the difference?
So Scarlet Purifier is rated a 60. Deathlord is rated a 44. And the Cobalt Guardian is rated a 36.
I think it's because of the lack of mechs. We should count our mechs. If we have more than 4 mechs, it can be decent.
When you summon a mech, gain Divine Shield. So he gains Divine Shield whenever you summon.
Right. So you would
mech.
attack, and then afterwards you'd play your mech, and he'd get Divine Shield.
I count 1 mech so far. 2 mechs. 3, 4 mechs. 5 mechs.
All right. So we have enough mechs to make this work. It's rated so lowly because you're not normally going to have the mech. So we have to kind of like weigh that. Scarlet Purifier is a 3-mana 4/3, so I think it's actually going to end up being our pick.
Yeah, it would be fun to try this, but just, I don't know.
How many creatures do we have with Death Rattle? We should check that as well. Because it kills our Death Rattle creatures.
Death
One.
Rattle.
There's 1.
Well, it does 2 damage to it. It may kill it.
2.
Oh, so this one with Death Rattle, when it dies, will give us the Golem.
Yeah, it's not what we want to happen.
Not really, no.
3.
Yeah.
4.
That one actually...
Well, I actually think we might want to take the Cobalt Guardian. We're in a position where, oddly, the worst looking card is better because of the composition of our deck.
Not to mention, if you look at our curve, we don't have any 5 or 6 drops. So it might be time to start taking some.
Yeah.
Wow, I bet it's going to be Frost Elemental.
Probably. It's 6 for 5/5. It freezes a character. That's all very good.
It's actually rated a 60 as well. And the main thing about Frost Elemental is it's a 6-drop. We don't have any 6 drops, and we're 20 picks in already. Redemption's rated a 46, and Eye for an Eye is rated a 4. We already talked about that one.
Eye for an Eye is just not a card you can play. It's only good in this specific situation of racing, where you and your opponent are no longer trying to take control by killing the other creatures or get advantage. You're just trying to kill each other as fast as possible by swinging each other's creatures and ignoring the other ones. You're not killing each other's creatures. You're just playing as many things as you can and trying to murder them, which doesn't happen that often, especially in this game. A lot of times you're just trying to retake the field. It's probably Novice Engineer, Ironbeak Owl, Flesh Eating Ghoul. Or Ironbeak Owl is rated lower than I keep thinking it's going to be. I like it. I like silencing something. I guess it's bad because there's not normally good things to silence early, and part of being a 2-costing cast card is you want to silence early.
So just looking at our deck list, we have a Hammer of Wrath, which will draw us a card, a Cult Master, which will probably, if we play it correctly, draw us a card or 2, maybe more. And we don't seem to have any other card draw.
Yeah, Novice Engineer and Flesh Eating Gore are going to save kind of a certain purpose, is that they go well in decks that want to have a lot of creatures.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get a 5, 6, or 7 drop, a few more before the end, so hopefully those will come around, because it doesn't feel like this many 1 through 4 drops are going to get us there. Feels like we're going to get to the end and not have very much steam.
And with that said, too, I would prefer the Novice Engineer. If we get a good card, it's easier to draw into by having cards that have acceleration is the term, and it means that you're drawing more cards than normal. So you're going to see more cards than your opponent, even if they don't do anything. Right? The 1/1 for 1 has a good chance of not doing anything. A Stormwind Champion would probably be our pick.
It is our pick, and the best part about this pick is these are absolute junk. So, once again, we're using the Hearth Arena tier list. So,
and Stormwind Champion is exactly what we want to see, right? Like, tons of tiny creatures. Our ability makes creatures. Stormwind Champion is, just a champion for us. Here, it's probably Humility.
Humility is rated at 42. Light's Justice 52, and Nightblade's rated the lowest at 30.
Humility lets us trade one of our abilities to kill a creature. It's a 1-for-1 trade with our ability, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Humility.
Wait, no, it's attack to 1.
It's attack. Oh, if it was defense to 1, it'd probably be rated even higher.
It's fine then.
So Light's Justice is technically rated higher, and Nightblade is a 4/4 for 5. We're kind of lacking in 5 drops. So all are good choices. It's really what we want to do.
I still like Humility. Let's just take one of their good attacking cards and kind of just... Hey, Consecration.
I'm going to think Consecration is probably rated almost near the top.
Right, and even if we weren't taking that card, we'd probably be taking more Golem over Scarlet Crusader. We really don't need more 3s. We really just need big, beefy bodies to have at the end of the game.
Yeah, Scarlet Crusader is rated higher, but not higher than Consecration. Most any effect that deals damage to all of your enemies is going to be rated super high in this format because it's known as like a Wrath in Magic. You're going to get several cards for one of your cards, and you're going to put yourself in a position to take more of their cards without, like you're going to weaken their cards so that their stronger cards will be killed by your weaker cards, or trading your poor cards for their good cards.
And we have a lot of creatures with 1 and 2 toughness. All right, True Silver Champion is our pick.
Probably going to
right. That's a 2-for-1. It gains us life. So it helps mitigate the damage that it does to us by killing the creature itself.
Yes, and I think we've talked about everything but the Reckless Rocketeer.
Card seems okay. You're going to get to play it. You're going to get to trade with what you want to because it has 5 power and charge, but it's going to die.
Yes, it's rated 42, a little bit below average. But True Silver Champion's rated almost at the top. And I've seen someone with 3 of these in their deck, and they beat us easily with them.
It's probably Avenge and then maybe the Raging Worgen for what we want.
So Avenge, I think we've talked about it's 54. Raging Worgen's 52. And the
Mage is terrible.
The Mage, yes, rated 12. So I believe Avenge would be our pick.
Yeah, it's definitely what we want. Just more ways to pump up our small guys. Okay, so this is interesting. The Taunt, the 3/5 Taunt is an amazing card. But I could see us taking any of these, right? Venture Mercenary, not normally the best card because it makes it hard to play your high drops. We don't have that many more high drops.
That's true.
So we have 2 that matter. We have 2 that turn our 7s to 10s.
Here's the scrolly bar. We have 2 7s, 6, a 5, and a few 4s.
Right. So for the most part, it's fine.
Now, however, this guy is rated very highly. He has a pretty good toughness. In addition to, you have to attack him. So I like him the best.
And I agree with that because Corehound is just... It's got the power, but it's
not got the toughness.
Your opponent's likely going to try to kill it. And if they can't, you're going to be smashing in pretty thick, but you're not always going to be able to play your 7s either.
That's true.
Alright, so I'm going with Raid Leader. Regardless of how it's rated, the other one, attack matters. We have so many small guys, and we can make guys. Ironbeak Owl's not doing else for us. And Holy Light is a terrible card. It's rated surprisingly high.
30. So, Raid Leader is actually rated very much lower than the rest of them. But I think in our sort of deck that we have, it's not going to be that bad.
We have a lot of bodies, and that's what Raid Leader wants. You are paying 1 mana for that. Your opponent's likely going to kill the Raid Leader first. It is usually a temporary effect.
Yeah, not to mention if we play it on our turn and then send them all into the enemy.
So we've got 2 bad cards. Ancient Mage can be good, but it's usually just okay. Alarm Robot is usually very bad unless you have a deck specific around it. And Bomb Lobber is one of the best creatures in the whole game. So we're picking Bomb Lobber.
Yes, Bomb Lobber is very good.
Alright.
So now, there's got to be a way. I've seen people take pictures of this somehow and put it next to their screen.
They just screen cap it, right?
Well, I think they don't do it for draft because it's such a huge list we're not going to be able to fit it.
Yeah.
So I guess we won't be able to do that. So let's go over them one more time, just real quickly. Anything that pop into your head, Daniel? I'm looking forward to sending one of their legendaries that we just didn't get into this. For the most part, most of these picks don't seem extraordinary, but hopefully they work together well enough that we'll get there.
We really didn't have the option to build a deck other than a Swarm deck. There wasn't another deck presented to us, so we are the Swarm deck, which can be fine. It'd be nice if we had a couple more cards like Cult Master or something that synergized with the Paladin ability of making 1/1s, but that ability in itself is very powerful. Hey, Wolves! It's good to see you again, man. Wolves represents most of our current watching base.
You guys just not reading the chat?
We were not reading the chat because we can't
I
read.
was like, wow, you guys are being rude.
Wolves has given us the big hope. 8 wins.
Yep, we appreciate that. We appreciate your confidence.
Alright. I like this key.
2, 3, 4. I think I could deal with that. I'm just going to play them as is unless I draw something better. The death rattle of summoning the 2/1's probably not going to be helpful this round, because Jaina's ability of doing a damage,
I mean, it does take tempo away from them, right? And we're
which I appreciate.
with us being the Swarm deck, we have a worse top end, so tempo is what we're going for. We're not going to win on raw card power. We're going to win on outracing our opponent's ability to play their better cards, you know, as we keep going. Stormwind Champion can be a nice end. And one thing I do like about Paladin is his ability to make a creature is one of the most relevant long-term abilities. If there was a 2-drop that had a little bit more value later, I would often find myself debating between do I make a token or do I actually play my creature, right?
Yeah, I found throwing the 1/1s out there will sometimes simply make it so they'll use an ability that damages all your creatures as opposed to holding it and trying to deal with them.
Right.
So you'll topple their abilities without using your cards.
I think here we actually want to make the token because he's likely going to want to attack into our guy. We want to attack our 2/2 into James. Then he's going to want to attack his guy into our 1/1 to give it the ability, and we're going to want to hammer it because what are its abilities again? It has that has a Wind Fury, right? The creature.
Oh, it does. It does have.
It has enraged. Sorry.
+3 attack.
So he wants to make it bigger, and if he shoots it and then does that, we can trade our.
So we can actually attack into it, lose our Divine Shield, and enrage it, and then change its attack to 1. So I think your idea is better, but I do like playing the 3-on-3.
But he's going to kill it. He's going to attack it and shoot it.
Oh yeah, but that's good because then he won't enrage this guy or take
we
out
should play
Divine
something.
Shield.
Go for it. They're two different lines. They kind of get the same thing. One of us gets a creature out quicker, so Brad has more tempo advantage, and the one I was talking about has a little bit more card advantage.
Yeah, so the plan is probably going to be hit this to get the enrage and then hit us, or take the shield off this and send it here.
And that's the reason I like the 1/1 is that we get in a position where if he shoots it, we can use the shield, and if he doesn't shoot it, if he attacks our guy, we can attack our small guy into it.
I'm hoping for the shoot into it and into our face so we can just hammer it and not have to use our creatures on it.
Oh, we can hammer it regardless. Even if he doesn't shoot it, we just hammer it. Right? The hammer is always a neutral. It's only a tempo issue because it costs 4 to deal 3.
Yep.
Oh, they're going with this. This is an interesting play. They're going to kill our creature, which I think for Jaina is the best play overall.
Definitely correct.
No, maybe not.
Maybe they just like to wait for the rope like we did.
Yeah, but we're blathering. We have a reason.
They don't know that.
All right, here I'm just turning our 2/3 for that. I know that there's not as much gain on.
So you don't like hitting it for 3 and then hitting them in the face.
We can. It's fine. We really don't have much better to do, actually.
Okay. So now I guess we'll just play 2 creatures.
We'll play a creature and make a token. Now we have a lot of bodies. She's probably going to want to shoot it, which means she's going to play some 2 toughness. We can hammer that if we like, or we can use the ability. That's the other thing about the Paladin. The more abilities, the better. We really just want to have a nice thick board when it comes time to play that Stormwind Champion in 3 turns.
Mana Crystal.
I like this. We're probably going to be able to hammer it. Yep, we're going to trade a 1/1 and hammer it. And play a secret. It's probably a good time to play that secret.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. Yeah, the secret. We want to play the secret. We don't want to play Light's Justice.
I'm sure we had that before. That would have been great for dealing with that.
Yeah, think about Lights. If we had thought about our list, the correct play would have been the other order. We didn't think about that, so we forgot about the Light's Justice.
That's true.
And that's where that came from. That's going to happen.
So this one gains attack if we have a lot of cards in our hand. That doesn't seem to ever want to be the case. This is something I would have liked to have had the Light's Justice for. Or, sorry, liked to have had the hammer for. Taunt and Rage.
We're probably playing a 1/3 and making a creature. So we're playing all three of our cards, using both of our cards, and I don't know.
So, do you think we should trade here, or do you think we should take the 3?
We should probably trade. It's going to get bigger.
Actually, no, we shouldn't, because we have a secret, which should.
Oh, good point. I completely forgot about that secret. That's why I don't like using secrets. I'm not comfortable with them because, yeah, not very good there. The taunt and rage will also help quite a bit. He's likely to try to train his micro machine for a taunt, and the taunt comes very, very good with the secret because it changes the order of their attacks. Nope. That Mystic turned out to be quite good. Usually a 4-mana 4/3.
Oh, not ever seen that happen. Nice.
Right, so now we know that 2-mana card is going to happen right there, which is fine. He's currently trying to do illegal attacks. We're going to just throw one of our creatures with 1 toughness as our first attack. It'll be very easy. We can Light's Justice. Not really as much of a problem when you know what the secret does. If he doesn't kill our creatures, it's probably Stormwind Champion, Light's Justice into the secret, and rough him up.
2 minions with taunt.
Alright, that's great for us. As is that. I really like that trade for us. No, I'm not liking all these trades for us.
True.
Well, an option is to play...
So we can humility this to turn into a 1, so we don't really have to worry about it. This is not a good play right now. This is. I think we should just send this into its death.
No, we should attack our person into the death. So go ahead and attack our guy to the taunt guy.
Attack that minion with taunt.
Alright, so we've decided if we're going to play Emperor Cobra and make a guy, or if we'd rather play our Guardian of Kings. I think...
Well, Guardian of Kings will...
Not Guardian of Kings, sorry, Stormwind. I'd rather have more bodies on the floor.
So I think I'd rather play this next turn when I can turn this into a 1 toughness so that it doesn't take 4, 5, 6 and die.
Yeah. And they're not going to want to attack into our stuff. We can go ahead and attack in one of the taunt guys.
Yeah, there's no penalty for that, so...
We can go ahead and humility the 4/3 now.
That would have been a good plan. They might play something better.
They can. With our extra mana and...
Like that. Now the taunt dudes have power.
Now the taunt dudes have more toughness as well, which is a big issue.
Really taking over the game now.
Well, the good news is we can kill one of the taunt dudes.
Whenever you summon a mech, gain Divine Shield.
We have time to buy 2. The Guardian of Kings restores health. We can
Alright,
go ahead
so
and...
that can I can take this one out.
Yep, we should go ahead and do that. And then we should go ahead and kill the other 2-1. So they no longer have taunt. So now they're priced into killing our guy. We can go ahead and humility and play our 7-drop. Play our battle cry, restore 6 life. The life is actually very important to us right now.
I agree. Alright, so which one do we want to humility?
The
6 or the
6s.
7? The 6 or the 5.
Job done.
Alright, so, we're behind on cards.
But it will take them 1 card and a fireball, or that.
Or just a regular fireball.
Generic fireball, not a fire blast.
Hopefully we could draw a mech, right? If we can play the Cobalt, give it Divine Shield, then we're in a better spot. It's aggressive. I like it for them trying to close out the game. I don't like it because it's a loss of value.
Yeah, they're not trading.
Alright, we'll be right back. What do I need to do to fix that?
Just push the button, yeah. Alright, we did not get a mech. We've got the Stormwind Champion still. So we can Stormwind Champion and a 1/1, which will be a 2/2. Or we can drop the 6/3, which will die to their 3/2. That's probably not a good plan. So we can drop the Stormwind Champion, Daniel, and the Raid Leader, or a generic 1/1. Either one. The Stormwind Champion, I think, is a must.
I would drop the generic. You want more creatures to attack with. The Raid Leader just has one more power.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Our opponent now is in a position where they need to kill some of our stuff.
That's true. They can trade this card and a Fire Blast for our Stormwind Champion, and then we'll just be left with a 1/1, which they can ignore. Or they can take us to less than half health.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
So the beeping was actually bread. Brad's girlfriend was making bread, and it is delicious bread, and we're in a terrible spot.
Certainly. So next turn, this guy's probably going to take a Fire Blast, get enraged, and attack us.
So we're going to go ahead and play out the Cult Master and the Cobalt Guardian in the hopes that they kill those instead. We're at the point now where they just have to make misplays. This deck's power is not as overwhelming as before. I would probably have gone with the Cobalt Guardian. It seems like a kind of card that you want to kill more, but the extra power does make us trade with more stuff, which is nice as well.
Alright, so they've got 6, 7, and then a Fire Blast, 8. I can hit this for 1 so that anything I trade with it, but it doesn't seem to matter right now, so there's no need to.
Nope. There is no fire alarm. We're not going to burn to death yet. Although we might be burned to death in just a few moments because he's coming in.
I saw that coming. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. That'll put us at 3. That's probably what I would do.
We're taking the trades, which is what I was
Nice.
hoping for. And in their fairness, if they can't kill us this turn by taking the trades, they're putting themselves in a position where they might not die. If we drew a series of good cards, who knows what we could have in our deck? They don't know that it's mostly trash.
Certainly. Alright, so we definitely want to play both of these, and we want to play this mech first.
Alright, Divine Shield. We can go ahead and attack and kill that 1/3. I like that.
Yep, I concur. So that'll save us 3 damage the next turn. However, that'll probably take another fire and gain 3 more attacks. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's death anyway.
We'll see what they do. And that'll end our first game, unfortunately, probably.
Oh, they restored 8 health. How great.
So something else we talked about a little bit was we use the term parity. And parity means that we're parity, right? The T, not the D. Not a parody of something. A parity, which means about equal footing. At some points in the game where it's ambiguous as to who's ahead or behind, and players aren't trying to just attack each other, they're usually in some sort of board stall. Both players have creatures. They may not necessarily want to attack all their creatures in. They're waiting to get cards that give them the advantage. And some cards really shine here, right? Our Cult Master is one of our best cards at parity because we get to turn cards that would usually just be trades and turn it into more cards. So that parity becomes our advantage. Or a card like... what other cards do we have? Mind Control Tech specifically is good if it's a big board parity. If it's a small board parity, it's not as good. Raid Leader's good in big board parity because there's more bodies and lets you attack more successfully through. Same thing for our Stormwind Champion. You're looking for things that kind of go wide usually or go big.
I agree.
There's some bread cooling down.
Yeah. Also mage fireballs.
It's probably a good way to cook, like mage fireball cooking. I could see it. Stormwind Champion we send back, right? And it's the rest.
I'm actually going to send back the Mechanical Yeti as well.
No, it's 2, 3, 4. We make a guy, then we play the Ember cover. We're not gonna have a better 4-drop than Mechanical Yeti.
You're right. And we got a 1.
Wow, that's basically perfect.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's only okay.
Ooh, nice.
Against the Rogue, because they have a very easy time killing our 1 toughness creatures.
Yes, we'll get a spare part probably very soon.
Probably this turn. That would be the play. Their play is the play I would make, which is make an equipment and kill the 2-1 before it does more damage. Which is fine. If they're using their stuff to kill our free plays, or if they're spinning cards. They didn't spin any cards to do that.
Alright, so... Make a creature. We just drew the mind control deck. This is probably also dying.
Which is fine. We didn't spend any mana to do that.
Hey, I like that guy.
Yep, the Emperor Cobra is going to do good work against that. Divine Shield, not quite as good against somebody.
It'd be nice to put on something that destroys a minion.
They're likely just going to make a equipment attack, right? Rogue and Mage are very good against Divine Shield, but the other classes can be very poor. Sometimes all you have is big cards, and if something has a lot of toughness... Oh. That was a good trade for them. So now our hand of protection is much better, right? We could play another 3-drop in the hand of protection, or we can make...
I think we should just play the Mechanical Yeti. We're going to try to play that when they have 4 more minions.
Yeah, we can all out for that too. They're going to trade their Zombie Chow and their equipment for it, which is a 1-for-1, but they also spent the other card on it. Right now they're still ahead, and it's not exactly where we want to be, right? We're behind on tempo a little bit, and we're behind on cards, but the quality of cards in Rogue is not very good. As the game progresses, our cards become more powerful, we have more toughness, hopefully, on them, and the equipment does a little bit less. I would be happy to take the trade here that they're taking. Woo.
I'm just hoping we're able to overrun them later after letting them damage themselves. Turn a friendly minion to your hand. Hopefully we can use that to our advantage.
So we can do Light's Justice and make a small dude and play an Avenge.
Yeah.
Right? Setting ourselves up. We really want them to commit more creatures to the board. As soon as we get 2 creatures to concentrate, I think that's fine. You really don't need more than that. I'm going to drop the Avenge probably. Right? We need to find out if that works for one more, but if the targeting is what you said it was, then it'll be fine.
Hopefully.
No, the rest of that's really too great. The Divine Shield makes them use up one of their things, but
yeah,
it's not really what we want to do. We can attack our 1 into his 3/1, and that'll make it so that
yeah, so that it will trade.
we don't. That way, if they don't play another creature, we can just attack it twice. Does cost us some life.
Shouldn't matter too much. I'd really like them to play some more creatures, and I would also like to draw some more creatures.
Mind Control Tech is one of these cards that can be very bad the whole game. There's a chance that you lose the whole game without them having more than a few creatures on the board. But it can also turn the end of a game around. A lot of times your opponents will have lots of creatures at the end, whereas you don't have as many, and you can play your Mind Control Tech and another 5-mana creature, and now you have 3 creatures to their 3 creatures, and you're back where you want to be. Alright, let's go ahead and concentrate. Right? And then we can kill the 3/1.
Definitely.
Now they don't have a board, and we can make a little dude. It doesn't matter much. The cards we're drawing, True Silver Champion will do work, but we need more pressure. And by pressure, I mean things that threaten their life total.
Mostly just creatures. We need to draw creatures.
Creatures are usually going to be your pressure. And we just don't have any right now.
No.
Any good creatures.
Nice.
And now our good creatures are going to die. But this is a good place for us to...
Restore 6 health. That's not bad.
Do we have 7? Let's go ahead and just play another one of our 1-drops and see if he kills that. Because I would really like to Hand of Protection the big guy.
Makes sense.
And we can go ahead and attack with our Lights Justice. We want to play that True Silver. We want to get these out of the way. And I don't think there's anything else we really want to play.
It's really rough.
Time Rewinding the Mind Control tech will be really nice if they have 5 creatures. If we can ever get there.
We can actually time around the Guardian of Kings, too.
If we need that much health.
So, there's no reason to use any of this stuff, really. So, that's going to be bad.
It's just a 6/6 right now, which, you know, is not great, but... Alright, we can trade with it.
Nice. Yeah, we'll take 6 to do it, but that's fine.
Right, I like Bomb Lobber here and then returning it to our hand, honestly. With us paying so much life, maybe it's not the best thing. But we can go ahead and get that off the board, so we should. And then maybe we might be rewinding the Guardian of Kings. Gaining life is only relevant when you don't have a lot, so often it's a bad ability because it's not getting you more of what you need.
I think we should put it back in our hand because the Assassin's Blade is going to kill it.
It'll kill it no matter when we play it, though.
That's true, but we'll get another use out of it next turn.
That's true. If we think that's better than...
Then 6 more life from the Guardian?
Yeah, I think it is better.
Okay.
It's close either way. They don't have any pressure on us, so we don't need that life. Alright. So it's coming down. Our opponents are playing a little slower this time. Maybe they're also streaming.
That'd be awesome.
This deck, as compared to the deck we had yesterday, has a lot less synergy, has a lot less top end. I'm not saying we're not going to win as many games, but it's less likely.
What's happening? It's just going to take a really long time.
Well, fortunately, our opponent is
Friday
playing things like Puddle Stomper, which are terrible. If we're lucky, they'll play a bunch of creature. Nope.
Nice.
It's a card we have to kill.
Nice. Well, I'm glad we have that taunt guy, but looks like we're playing this first. Alright, so they have 6 and 3 more attacks with that blade. That is going to end us. So we can play a taunt for... That'll get us through one more turn. And then...
We can play the taunt and Hand of Protection on the Rusty, on the 1/1. That's what I think we should do. We have the Rusty 1 and Hand of Protection. Put them on our 1/1.
Oh, we taunt the 1/1.
And we Hand of Protection. So he has to hit it twice with the best card. And whenever he plays something...
Well, I mean, we might as well do it this one then. Taunt, hand of protection. It's the same thing, basically.
It's 3 attacks. With the taunt and this on it. He has to attack it. 1, 2, 1. Yeah, because you get an extra turn if you do it that way. Alright, well, we need to Hand of Protection out of it.
Yep. So I believe next turn we're getting some life.
Yeah, we're just thinking our board out. Hopefully we draw the Stormwind. Ooh.
Oh man!
I believe we are dead.
God. That was amazing.
Happens, didn't it?
You know what? They can do that.
Alright, switch it up.
Yes, I'm gonna lose too, and Daniel's gonna carry us to the next.
All we have to do is win 8 in a row. 8 in a row, guys. 8 in a row.
Strategy. But now we just go to the scrub bracket if these drafts work like I think they do.
I hope they do. We'll find out. We'll be playing the worst of the worst if you're right. This terrible people that can only lose multiple games in a row.
Perhaps we're only good with Hunter. Maybe that's the case.
I feel like we made good picks. Part of Limited that we're going to get to, right? Limited is formats where you're not getting to choose all the cards that you own. You're just choosing a select amount of cards because it's a limited pool to choose from. Sometimes things just going to turn out poorly, right? You need to understand the difference between bad card quality, bad draws, bad, stuff like that, and the things you can fix, which are poor plays and poor mindsets, poor mulliganing choices, right? These are all things that we need to be critical of ourselves, right? Maybe we made the wrong mulligan choices.
Yeah, maybe we made the wrong draft choices.
Maybe we made the wrong draft choices. I don't think we did. I felt pretty good on the draft choices. And the mulligans have also been fine. This game has a fairly simple mulligan system. And without multiple games, you have less information, so there's more variance. And variance is just the luck-based elements in some ways, but also the differences, right? Maybe our opponent's deck was well-positioned against ours. Maybe our opponent just drew a really good hand, and their deck normally would have been bad, right? They just had a good succession of draws. And then that's fine. We're not really going to focus much on luck or variance on the games we just happen to lose. And it also appears that there's no other opponents that are bad as us.
Yes.
I was just taking forever.
Wolfson still believes in us. I want to throw a shout out to him for that.
We've got Wolves on here.
As long as we're entertaining 3 people, that's good enough for me.
I'm wondering if I follow our Wolves 9, myself. Who's the third person?
Catherine.
Alright, so,
My girlfriend.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, look! One drop, and I was thinking, I'm going to say go ahead and push the hand of protection.
I'm pushing
possibly the avenge.
That's the question. Do I want to push the avenge? And I think, who am I playing against? Totem guys? I'm going to try the avenge. It's questionable.
It didn't do anything last game.
Oh, well, that's terrible. Fortunately, my ability is good. The Shaman is a class I actually don't like. The random ability of the totems, which can be powerful, but they're situational, and some of them are just terrible outside of constructed. But even in constructed, getting random effects as opposed to if you're going to get between a 3 and a 5 every time you use an effect, then I would rather just always have a 4. That consistency matters quite a bit. And this ability right here is ranges from making a 1/1 to a 0/2 that heals, to a 0/2 that taunts, to a 0/1 or 2 that has a
+1 spell damage.
+1 spell damage.
I think it's 0/2.
So here I'm going to go ahead and use this ability.
Draw card, actually.
You think that
Yeah, both the 1/1 that draws your card.
Right, but every time I don't use, I'm giving up some small amount of a card.
I guess so.
We'll see how it goes. Brad definitely could be right. Next turn, I'm
I
probably
like to draw something I can play that's bigger next turn.
that velocity counts for a lot. It could definitely have been not the right move there. That velocity might be what I need. Next turn, if I don't draw 3, I'm going to play Double Sacrifice and do this again. And then the 4th turn, I'm going to play the Novice Engineer in this. And I'll have a bunch of terrible 1/1s.
And I'll also spend a lot of time dealing with.
Yeah. I really haven't played enough Paladin to determine whether the 1/1s, whether Brad is right, that I should be more proactive things and using my ability in the meantime, or I should be more aggressive. Hey!
I believe Double Sacrifice is in order there.
Attack him, and that'll be it.
So, we've got the 2/1 that will block his Wind Fury on its first attack.
So we're going to also see if Avenge and Noble Sacrifice work. Me and Brad started in Magic, and Magic works very differently. It makes sense in our mind, but it's not as simplistic. It has to do with... Alright. Well, we're not going to find out, because I just avenged him, and this guy's coming in to beat me up.
Oh, actually, the other one will, as soon as he attacks. No matter what.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Alright, I'm probably going to go with Hammer Wrath here.
No, just take your 4/3 into his 2/2.
With 4/3 in my 2/2, and then play in these right here. Go down to 1 toughness.
I would actually just play the 1/1 and then play the Novice Engineer draw a card.
Alright, start with drawing a card. Maybe we draw something relevant. We did not. Alright.
I would just play and then 4/3 into the 2/2.
I think I'm just going to take it to his face.
He's probably got some sort of buff in his hand. Seems like every class does that. Maybe that's just me. I feel like anytime I don't play their board, I've done wrong.
Yep, we'll try the board clearing more.
Now, I wouldn't have done that against Jaina, because then that would just take 5 days. But
the Jaina and the Rogue obviously are much stronger in dealing with those. And it's one of the reasons Jaina's rated so highly. Rogue's card quality can be low. The combo cards can be very bad if they're not constructed that correctly. So,
Now, if it only plays one creature and it has 4 less toughness, you can just take it out with the bomb baller next turn.
yeah. Is the sound still echoey? I just noticed that.
Is it echoey?
Wolves gave us an echoey. We was waiting for a response. Yeah, like 20
Does
seconds.
that do? Does that stop it? Now all the sound should be coming from one location instead of 2.
Alright, well, that's not something I want to lob.
That's
It's
what
going
I'm
to
doing.
2 damage to everything.
Ah. Ooh. Well, it seems like the Cult Master would be a good play.
Yeah, it's the Cult Master. And this is going to seem like an odd play at first, but...
And then send the Novice Engineer into the thing, draw a bunch of cards.
And then play the Zombie
And
Channel.
play the Zombie Channel.
Not where I want to be, but I enjoy drawing cards.
Does that not work like we think it works? Does that
Nope.
not work like we think it works?
And that's the problem with us playing too much Magic, is that it did not work how we thought it would work. Which, I don't know, oh, it's still echoing.
Still echoey. Are you hearing us multiple times, or are you hearing the sound from the game multiple times, or both? That's who you just turn the sound down.
Is this plugged in?
No, it's not. Probably the hammer.
Yeah. No, wait, there's a random effect. This one, Bob Lobber.
Yeah.
Gives me more pressure. The one can matter, though.
I'd go ahead with the bomb lobber. Bomb lobber. And then 2 defense.
I already attacked.
Oh.
I killed his totem, so it couldn't randomly kill that.
Oh, that's a good one.
We still echoing? Is it better yet? I hope it's better. You can keep fiddling with it until we get it right. Oh, wow, 2 more bodies. Wow.
So that's just 1. So if you give everything +1/+1, that allowed you to trade for those 2 creatures. Or as trade one and not trade the other.
Problem with play. The other option
You
is...
can also turn one's power to 1, and then play 2 smaller creatures. So that would be all your mana as well. And then the next turn, if you still have creatures, you can play the.
I like that plan, really.
Now his attack is 1. So do you just ignore him?
You can't kill any of my creatures.
I don't know. Take out the 2/2.
He's gonna attack into us. I actually really like him attacking.
Yeah, just
That was not what I wanted to do.
misclick.
It happens. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do next creatures in case it does anything like that.
Still.
Well, that's the same one they said earlier. Hopefully it's stopped by now. I'm not sure.
Alright. Can't really target spells or abilities by heroes.
Fine trade by them. Alright, we'll go ahead and play our Stormwind Champion and our Hand of Protection.
Oh, nice.
Also find the taunt actually benefits us quite a bit. Alright.
Excellent turn.
Oh, we have 2 viewers. I can't tell who the person is.
I think look here.
Nope. Just one viewer. We had somebody for one brief second.
Why didn't you turn it on?
What?
I thought I did.
Oh, it's your turn again.
I thought I did turn it off. I'm not trying to bring you that. Alright, so,
Well, you can play the 2 mechs and give your mech Divine Shield.
we will do that.
And
I'm trying to find if I want to.
I think you just attack his face full out. Because you have a top creature, so you just make him spend a turn killing the top creature.
We have enough health that it should be fine.
Don't forget to attack with your 1/1.
And our surprisingly relevant 2-1. 2-2. Alright, so we're gonna win the game.
Hopefully. Does that mean he's quitting?
Probably, but I don't think he can get out of this situation. He would need some sort of wrath effect, which is killing all creatures that effect. Hey, that's not a bad opening there.
That was it, man.
Oh, well, we don't have the option. There were different options here. I was looking at hammer wrathing, but yeah, they don't work.
1 win.
As far as we need to get. 1 win.
Yes, I actually forgot to update our record here as we lost 2 in a row.
We'll try to get him. We're trying to go above.
So we've got plenty of gold for another draft if this one fails quickly.
Yeah, and something we go on to that we talked about parity. In most games, there are kind of 4 stages. The first stage you start out in is developing. This is why you're playing your kind of lower cards, right? It's the first few turns before things kind of slow down, right? When you're using all of your mana, crystals, or mana magic, either one's the same. I'm going to push the Stormwind Champion, keep the Cold Master, push the Hammer Rat.
I agree with pushing the hammer.
I'm pushing both. I really don't need many 4s.
I do like drawing cards with Cold Master. Oh, now you got 1.
Humility is just not a card I want to see.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have to draft this.
Sometimes there. But,
wow. You get it back.
I'd rather save the coin with the Stormwind Champion and the Cultist. But we're talking about developing, which is we're using it. Right now we're developing. Near the end of the game, a little bit after halfway usually, around 6, or 5 or 6, we're at a point where we're not really using up all of our mana, right? We will have 6 crystals, but you can't use each one. Go ahead and...
I'd probably, if I should have.
With this damage, it's just so much to lost. And we have plenty of cards. But after you get to the point where you're not using up all your mana, that's usually where the game devolves into one of 3 states. You're either winning, which means you're winning. You're losing, which is not where you want to be, right? It doesn't mean you're definitely dead. It just means you're behind overall on cards and creatures by some amount that's greater than 1 usually.
What's the one at the end?
It's
fine. I think it's the perfect time to play this.
Yeah. And the third one is parity, which was Brad was talking about earlier, where it's kind of the same. You can't really tell where someone's at or not. And when we're playing card games, we usually want to pick cards that are good in developing, parity, or losing. The thing about winning is any card's good while you're winning. So you don't really need to pick up cards that make you win more. That's not particularly useful. Pretty good. And I like that attack as well. Alright, here I'm just going to put out...
So I would put out a 1/1 if you want to, and then use your coin to play the Emperor, I believe it is.
I think I just put out a 1/1 and hope he puts up more guys and try to get this Mind Tech control. It's kind of risky, but Mind Tech control really hasn't been doing much for us. And I don't think it's going to do much for us. Unless we kind of try to set it up.
I bet if we played another Paladin, it would work. But we're too bad to be able to do that.
Just one more creature, come on, guy. This is hurting.
Lots of fun.
this. And I guess we can humiliate.
What makes the other guy better? The 3/3 there?
It's whenever a minion attacks, take one attack.
Dies, actually.
Dies.
So every time he kills one of our 1/1s.
Yeah, I think it's just the master, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't really want to be yet, but really just don't have anything else to do.
Yeah. Draw a lot of high cost and dead cards.
Mind Control Tech is a situational card. The ceiling on it is so high, right? You get a steal their legendary, but as you can see, the floor here is just a 3/3 for 3, and maybe we're just holding out too long on it.
Probably.
The good news is that makes another body, and very likely playing another creature.
Mind Control Tech, amazing!
Alright, so Mind Control Tech will be decent. Unfortunately, it's not even
Took a lot of damage to get there, but hopefully it'll take the biggest one.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and take Mind Control Tech, and it's going to tell us what we're going to do next. Hey!
Wow. Alright, use the crystal and play your True Silver, and then kill one of their things.
Kill the 5/4?
Or you don't have Taunt Creature, you can use 1 mana to put that 5/4 down to a 1/4 and then make a creature. That's probably good enough. That way they're not trading for your 5/3 there. That doesn't use your mana crystal. Just humiliate their 5/4 and then make a 1/1 with your ability.
They'll just trade their own mana for it. I want them to, we'll do it either way.
My only problem with using the True Silver is you're going to hit the 5/4 that's 5 in your face, whereas the humility is, not.
Yeah, but we have we do have a lot of cards, and that's a really good point. Wait,
So,
yeah. Because we have so many cards, and we have more with this Cult Master.
yeah, so go ahead and play the free trial there, since you used your
Crystal, yeah, I messed that up. Okay, I don't understand what Brad was saying, but we have so many more cards. It doesn't look like we have more cards, but with the Cult Master, we have more cards. It's also good to know
if
that.
anything lives till next turn.
So earlier when we did the Cult Master and kill everything, in Magic there's an effect called Last Known Information, which is where it recognizes the creature on the board as they died together. So death effects happen all together. That's not the case in Hearthstone, obviously, as we made that mistake. It didn't kill him. What? No, I'm just kidding. So it didn't do that. It didn't use last known information, which is fine. It's just the way the game plays out.
Assassinate?
Nope, it's Kidnapper. It's going back to
Owner is who controls it in this game.
Weird. Also different
Yes.
from Magic.
Very strange.
Alright, so we want to kill
We don't
him.
have a board.
I think we just play Guardian of Kings and pass. We could play Fleshy and wait, what does that have? 2?
1 right now.
Yeah, we're just playing Guardian of Kings. It's not where we want to be necessarily, but it's fine. We want to put out lots of creatures. We really just need to get rid of this 5/3. He's thrown out. Beefy dudes.
Straight to your face with the whole team. So I recommend you take your 5/6 and his 3/5, and then you cast your True Silver Sword and kill something.
Yeah.
No, not that one. Into the 5/3, yeah. Because that other one would get bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're attacking, but sure.
The spider, the 3/4. We lose 1 life, but that's fine. Alright, now we want to drop multiple creatures. Brad, you give a phone call.
Don't know who that is.
Alright.
So we're at 12, we're not dead from what he has showing, but we're very close.
We're going to clear his board. We're going to be catching up, hopefully, pretty quickly. Again, if we get stuff to do until 10, that's 2 more attack per minion. He will be dead out of nowhere if we have any sort of board state. So,
If it was trying to live for 1 turn.
trading off features is awkward, but that's what we're kind of doing right now. That's an odd attack. unless they're going to do 2 damage to multiple creatures. In which case, it's not an odd attack. It's very good. Yep, there we go. Betrayal.
Nice. I like that character.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and kill that. We cannot kill that. We don't have. Yes, we can. We're going to go ahead and kill that. We're going to attack him first. No.
Wait. Shouldn't you give your zombie divine shield?
Oh, we're just going to attack him
it's okay.
afterwards. We're going to get 2 health.
Wait, later. So that you trade with that 5. Oh, that killed us. How did that kill us? Were we at 2?
Yeah, I thought we gained life, but I guess we gained life afterward.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, not knowing exactly what order the game goes in was the issue there. I thought we were gaining life and then do the damage, because everyone been attacked. But it was actually after damage has been dealt. So his effects went on first. In Magic, it goes the same way. Opponent's effects and then your effects. If we'd been playing Magic, then the way it was worded made me think that we were going to gain a life, and then the damage would happen. But it happens all together. I did. I just didn't realize that's how the game played. So that was kind of shitty.
We got 30 dust. Look at that.
Hey, sometimes you're going to lose a lot of stuff and resources when you're playing games. So we're going to switch.
Alright, let me go into the edit scene mode and we will loot crate really quickly. Daniel, you ready for the loot crate?
Oh, wait, 1 second. I just want to take a bite of the rent.
Alright. Little Exorcist, taunt, Battlecry. Gain 1/1 for each death rattle minion. Each enemy death rattle. Another double red pack. Deal 2 damage to all minions with death rattle. And freezing the character. Alright. Loot crate.
This is the loot crate. You get these once a month. I subscribe to this. It's kind of late. It came out like the 20th, so it's like 10 days old. I haven't opened it yet. I actually didn't know we were going to do this podcast. It was just kind of at my house. But I will just open these up on stream when they come into my house. It'll be the 20th each month. They've got a lot of real cool stuff in them. The thing about it is, you pay $20-ish. It can be a little more, a little less, depending on what your subscription is. But it's always more than $20 worth of stuff. Like, I give a lot of this stuff to my other friends. Like, this is my giving friends present stuff. And I keep whatever's cool for me. Alright, Brad, we got a... Oh, we have a keyboard here. Brad, you can type us something nice. We've got a shirt. Brad, you wanna pretend to try this on?
Sure. I'm not going to pretend to try it on now.
What is it? I can't...
What does it say?
It says, "This is stirred." Oh, we got a sad little James Bond on there.
Oh.
And it's an aperture sign.
Nice.
Or stuff that don't want. That is nifty, right? There are shirts in there. I've got like cool Transformer shirts and Batman shirts and all sorts of stuff like that. I have a Spy Watch and a tassel. Spy Watch. What does the Spy Watch do? Stealth wristwatch? Does this actually do anything? I have classified notes. Wait, I want to see if this actually... Oh, this is like an actual watch.
TV reference I don't get? I don't know.
Notes filed. These are just general spy things. The spy stuff was the theme.
Oh, I didn't realize that spy was a theme. Alright. Oh, it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. theme. That's what it is.
It's spy themed. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are spies.
Oh.
I get spy libs. Everything's not making it out here. The shirt makes it nice.
Oh. It's a magazine. Oh, never mind.
Alright, this actually is probably like the least cool loot crate I've got. It comes with little pins, loot pins.
Oh, it's got Orphan Black.
Yeah, it comes with episodes of comics.
Oh, it's a comic.
Yeah, it comes with episodes of comics. So if you're into like comics or nerdy, if you're just into nerdy paraphernalia or just nerdy stuff,
Orphan Black is one of the best shows on TV.
it's cool. That's it. And the crates themselves are cool little
Keyboard-looking things.
Yeah, they have cool little things in it. It's one of those things where you're unlikely to like every single thing in it, but you don't have to. you know, this cost me $20, and a shirt going price is somewhere around $15.
Something like that.
So if you
Hashtag
like the
value.
shirt, then you're fine. I have a spy watch. We'll probably give it to like my brothers or something. Maybe I'll save some of the stuff up and we'll give it away if we actually have viewers eventually. I don't know. Just Blue Crate shit.
I think that's the right size. It's hard.
All right, so I guess we can go back to
wow, there was a priest. Oh, I've already bought the next draft because I was impatient. And I'm a ninja, not a spy.
Where are we keeping this? Didn't we have this over here last time? Did we change our spot?
Oh, I moved it so that we could do the.
Right. So we want to move back?
Yeah, we can try
Scoot over here. Oh, we made it. I went the wrong way because I don't know how cameras work. Cameras, I can't tell.
All right, on the fly editing. One in three.
Hide our
so-
shame.
So the
priest is the best, right? It's priest, druid, warrior.
don't know.
Brad has a fancy. What is the place where we get it from?
It's the beginner's arena guide.
You
It's
type in
on-
Hearthstone drafting on Google. It's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah, it's a HearthstonePlayers.com. So they rank the mage and the paladin as excellent. The hunter and the priest is good. The rogue, druid, and shaman is average, and the warlock and warrior as below average. So I think we're gonna go with a priest.
It sounds good. I like the priest. It makes a lot of cards that aren't normally as good excellent. Taunt cards are so much better. I like here. Wow. Oh, wow. We have
So
3 very good cards. Light of Naru is a situational card. I'm assuming our pick is going to be Sludge Belcher, but Gadzatan Auctioneer can be very strong drawing cards, right? You would like to be in a position to play the card and immediately draw a card.
which at 6 probably not going to happen, and you're not really guaranteed a lot of spells in this format. So the auctioneer is rated at 38 because of all those things. The sludge belcher is rated an 80, and the light of the Naru is rated somewhere in between those two, 64.
Yeah.
So I figured sludge belcher would be a very high pick.
Alright, here it's probably Dark Cultist or Zombie Chow. Zombie Chow is better in Constructed because it's easier to make it a more aggressive deck. Dark Cultist is a 3-4 for 4, or 3-4 for 3, which is above rate. That's great. And giving a random friendly minion 3 health is a pretty bestial thing right there.
And especially with priest,
Yeah.
who can heal. Zombie Chow is rated a 70, Dark Cultist is rated an 88, and the Magma
Is not good.
Rager is rated a 10.
Right, Magma Rager, again, one
Liking
of
this
those
deck already.
ceiling cards, right? 5 damage, that's a lot, but realistically they just trade their worst creature or worst ability, right? Playing against a mage with that is rough.
So it's really hard not to just say Holy Nova, keep going, because it is the best card. The Web Lord is 30, and the Power Word Shield is probably highly rated.
It's in the middle. Again, you're paying 1 mana for a decent effect and you're drawing a card. There's almost no downside.
So actually, Power Word Shield is rated higher than Holy Nova, but I would rather take Holy Nova because it may gain this card advantage. So
I-
up to you, really.
The idea with the difference in them, right? The Holy Nova does damage to everything and restores health. It's probably only going to do 2 damage and restore 1 or 2 health, but the 2 damage is a big deal. The reason the Power Word Shield is so high is it's got a good effect, a strong effect with draw a card. I like the velocity of Power Word Shield. I think we actually might see another Holy Nova too because they're all commons.
That's true.
I'd rather
so you'd
have-
rather take the shield?
I'd rather have multiple cheap cards that have velocity than multiple cards that do pseudo sweeping, which is what our Holy Nova does, right? It sweeps across and does damage.
We'll go with that.
Alright, so it's going to be Holy Smite here, followed by the Mechanic, and followed by the Leopard Gnome.
Holy Smite 60, Leopard Gnome 26, and the Dragonling.
Should be right in the middle.
The Dragonling Mechanic 36.
Yep, so Smite's what we want. Alright, Mad Bomber is going to be it. This is a good one though, because it might be a lot closer. Spectral Knight and Force Max Tank have things you want on big cards, which is they're hard to kill. They're both very resilient. Spectral Knight's probably a little worse in our deck than the normal deck because our ability would be very nice with the 4-6, but you can't use it. So it's probably Mad Bomber, Force Max, Tank, Spectral Knight.
So Force Tank Max is 66, and the other two actually. Force Tank Max is 60. The other two are tied at 66. So it's whatever we really want here.
I think I'd rather have the Mad Bomber.
I think I would too.
I'm just mad about it. Alright, so it's a Matter Bomber, and it's probably not even close.
Matter Bomber 68. The Light we've already talked about 64, and then the Sunwalker is an 88.
Wow, I was wrong. I think we should still take the Sunwalker. Matter Bomber, again, very good card, but being able to heal a taunt creature, I guess it's just worth it. Alright, here I like Tauren Warrior. Of the 3 cards, regardless of the rating, I think Tauren Warrior is probably the card to pick. Enrage stacks with healing. You can heal it back up, and you can enrage again.
Tauren Warrior is rated lower than the Direwolf Alpha. The Direwolf Alpha is rated 50, the Tauren Warrior is rated in the 30s, and the South Sea is rated really low.
Cool.
So, I don't know. We can go with whatever you want. The Direwolf Alpha is rated highest. So.
If we pick the Direwolf Alpha, yeah, let's go with the Direwolf Alpha, that's fine. We'll see more Tauren Warriors. We'll have more chances for that. Alright, so it's probably the Ogre Brute. Being a 4/4 that randomly attacks the wrong thing isn't as big of a deal as you'd think.
Frost Wolf is 54. The Ogre Brute is a 66.
Usually it's going to be fine.
And the Silverback is rated beyond terrible.
Let's check our chat real quick. So let's go check the chat.
Oh, that's why we didn't have the chat. There we go.
Hey! We got some more guys in here. Hey! We missed you guys. Merc X and Corget. Yeah, we can answer some questions while we keep going. I do kill stuff. I kill stuff and put it in my head.
I like it.
Alright, Corget is actually just being a jerk. But that's okay, we don't mind.
Oregon Infiltrator 64.
Yeah, Merc, we'll get your survey later. Right now, we're just going to keep going with what we're going on.
Gnomish Inventor 56. And then Youthful Brewmaster 48. So it's probably just the Infiltrator.
Yeah. Just give me a second here. The Echo stops, that's good.
Oh, good.
Yep, that's right. With the priest, we do want higher health minions. Something like Gnomish Adventure's okay. The Worgen Infiltrator is still fine. We don't only want low toughness things, and we'll have a good mix-up. Alright, so here we're probably going to want the Violet Teacher, followed by the Master Swordsmith. Target enemy's still not good. We will get to that in a minute, Mark. We're going to keep going with the draft. So what are our rankings on those?
So the Violet Teacher is rated a 66. The Master Swordsman is rated a 14, and the target dummy is so low I can't even find it.
Actually, Merc, your URL is actually showing up as www ****, just 3 asterisks, .me.econ. So obviously this is for some sort of a school-related thing? Or .econ? I don't know. Alright, well,
T-Job.
we'll see you again, Merc. Alright, so here...
The Arena, rated a 48.
Maybe Ancient Brewmaster's a little better than that.
Ancient Brewmaster is rated a 46. And Cog Master is rated a 20. All pretty bad.
Alright, I think Lord of the Arena is probably the best with us. Being able to heal means that we can attack our 6 into something, put it back up. We can attack into 2 very freely, we can attack into 3 moderately freely.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that Temple Enforcer is going to be rated really high.
It's probably going to be Temple Enforcer, Cult Master, Mind Blast.
Temple Enforcer rated an 86. Cult Master rated a 66. And Mind Blast rated a 2.
Normally we've been really high on Cult Master because we've been picking things that go so wide. our deck isn't wide. It's very narrow. All right, this is an interesting pick because Northshire Cleric seems like it would be very good in our deck, but the Berserker also is a card that's reasonably good because whenever it takes damage, it's actually better than Enrage in that it procs multiple times.
That's true. So the Northshire Cleric is rated almost as high as you can go at 80. The Berserker is rated in the 50s, I believe.
All right, the Northshire Cleric by a landslide. Huh. Nice. So here we're probably also going to want the Churn Warrior. I think it's Churn Warrior over Iron for Grizzly in this specific deck because we can heal. And that is a nice little perk. Is that right?
So the Tauren Warrior is actually, let's see, the Iron for Grizzly 46, Tauren Warrior's 24. So, which is a little,
that is quite a bit lower. Maybe we're misinterpreting Rage. If Enrage goes away when you're healed, is that true or does it say?
You know, you can't look in this format. Oh, while damaged. So, yeah, you can look in this format. So, when we heal it, it will not be damaged.
Alright, well then it's the 3-3. We don't want to have the back and forth on that.
I'm going to guess that Northshire Cleric is,
Yeah, it still is, so it's definitely still that.
So,
these are
wow,
very
it's
bad
probably
ones.
the Scarlet Crusader.
It's the best of the three. It's not very synergistic with our deck or with our abilities, but the fact of the matter is it's usually going to make 2-for-1 or it's going to trade up once. It's very hard for this card to not end up in a good situation. So Scarlet Crusader,
Shadowed Pain?
Shadowward Pain's going to be the best thing. We don't have any equipment, so there's not a lot really for priests.
Yep, Shadowward Pain's rated at 76. The Spiteful Smith. So it's rated at 56, a lot higher than I thought it would be.
Oh,
And then the Nightblade,
paying 5 for a 4/6 isn't
it's
terrible.
rated at 30. So.
But paying 5 for a 4/4 is terrible. Alright, so Haunted Creeper looks very good, as does Dark Iron Dwarf, and I'm not sure which one is better. They're both.
Haunted Creeper is 62, Stone Skin
We know it's not the Stone Skin. That card is very
is
good.
a 2, and the Dark Iron Dwarf is a 76.
I like the Dark Iron Dwarf here. It's rated highest, and we can heal it. That's probably one of the reasons it's rated higher. Alright, Silence
Which,
is
if you start looking at our curve, a 4 seems to fit very well.
And Pilot and Shredder is going to be our pick here as well. Silence is not really doing what we want it to. We would much rather pay 1 mana to have it tacked on a card, right? If Pilot and Shredder was 5 for a 4/3 with Death Rattle and Silence, I would still rather have that card than Silence itself.
And Pilot Shredder is rated quite highly at 86.
Free cards are very rarely worth just playing. Alright, so I guess...
So Ancient Mage is rated at 16. Death Lord is rated at 48, and the Cold Light I think is rated near the bottom. Death Lord I don't like playing, but he is a 2/8, and we can continuously heal him. And he has taunt, so they must come into it.
Yeah,
For 3, he will hold off a lot of people for a long time if we get him on turn 3. So Holy Nova is probably what we want here.
Yeah, Velerin's Chosen is probably the worst of the 3.
It's actually rated the same as Holy Nova.
Really? We are underestimating that.
Yeah, it does say it has a higher first pick bonus than both of them do.
We have a lot of thick creatures. Do we want to dedicate to having another big creature? We need to look at our deck here and see if our deck is trying to do a small amount of damage to a lot of cards, or if it would rather make one creature much bigger.
Seems like we can go either way, really. I like the Holy Nova effects, though.
Let's go with the Holy Nova. If you have more experience with it, it can definitely be a stronger effect.
So.
Alright, so here we're probably looking at Stormwind Champion. Not as good as it's been in other decks, but our curve really wants something higher. We have a lot of 1s, we have a lot of 3s. And one of the ideas behind curves is you want your curve not to look necessarily as a bell curves, so much as... It's going to have more 1s, 2s, and 3s than it's going to have 4, 5s, and 6s. It's going to be a kind of a sharp... I probably should be right about here. It's going to come up, and it's going to kind of really swoop down for that end.
Yes, I've covered over our viewing.
We have to make the choice. We have to be able to read your guys' words or see our own faces. Or we can try to awkwardly do both.
Yes.
Because we can resize our faces.
I need 6 more screens.
We need more. Yeah, we only have 2 screens here, and the ideal is at least 12.
Yes.
We're screening for screens, so if you guys know any screen shops, screening, screen printing, just
that should
alert
do
us.
it. Alright, so Stormwind Champion is rated as 66, I believe.
Yeah, and it's better than either of the other cards. The next card is probably Raging Origin, followed by Ironforge Rifleman. The 1 damage can be nice,
Origin
but
52.
you don't normally want to pay 1 for it on such a small creature.
Rifleman's rated terrible, so.
Alright, so here we are probably at Shadow Word Death.
Yeah. Not much reason to even look the other ones up. Wow, Circle of Healing.
Alright, so
I think it's rated poorly, but I could be wrong.
the 4 health to all minions is a symmetrical effect. Obviously, you want to be taking advantage of that. You want to do it after you've attacked your guys, and their guys are dead, your guys are injured, you heal it. But the real problem with it is it's just not doing what you want it to. Circle of Healing could be very potent with our multiple Northshire clerics, but I think we're just better off picking the Berserker. We don't have any.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen
mechs,
that.
really. We have
one
one
mech. One mech, one beast.
Yeah, I would just rather have the potential for more damage than making 1 mech cost less.
I agree.
I'd have to have a lot of mechs, really, for me to make that decision otherwise. I think here it's Blood Cell Raider. We have 2 cards we don't want to play. Mind Blast is not the kind of card you want to play. If I had a deck full of Mind Blast, I'd be very happy to play it, because I'm only 6 cards away from killing my opponent.
But you start with 4 of them, usually.
Yeah,
4 or
so
5.
they would just be dead very quickly, but that's not the case. Annoyotron is probably the highest card here.
Annoyotron at 48. The Magma Reaper, it's rated very lowly, but I don't remember how.
Yeah, the Magma Rager
Rager's 10.
not
and
holding up.
Silence, do we ever even look up Silence? Of 36.
Silence is better than I thought it would be, but still not something I'm like. Okay.
Shadow Word Pain is probably going to be the winner here, but I'll look up Thought Steal.
Thought Steal is a 2 for 1. You are getting 2 cards for 1. You just don't know what card they are.
Love the random background noise. That's all coming from outside. Thought Steal, 2 for 1, rated a 56, I believe it was, and Shadow Word Pain is still rated higher at 76.
Yeah, we're going to go with that. The real problem with Thought Steal is it's not 2 of your cards, so you're getting cards that don't synergize with you. And that's the tough part, right? If you're playing another deck and you get your Northshire Cleric, well, you got a 1/3, and that's not a good card unless you're a priest.
Oh, wow. Those are all
Silence.
bad.
We're going to have Silence, and that's the card I would prefer to have. Silence can situationally be good. Costing 0 is not a big deal in our deck, as opposed to something like
Wow.
the rogue decks, which have the combo effects.
Yeah, I hate to take a Silence, but I'd rather have it than Mind Blast or the Raider, so.
Alright, we have Mechanical Yeti. That is probably going to be the order. It's going to be Mechanical Yeti, Ironford Grizzly, and then Mad Scientist, I'd assume.
Yeah, Ironford Grizzly 46, Mechanical Yeti.
Mechanical Yeti was the same price there. It's like a 68 or so. It's higher up in the scale. It goes back to that same thing we talked about before, where 5 toughness turns out to be the sweet spot. We see the ratings over and over. 4 toughness creatures rated lower, 5 toughness creatures rated higher. Here it's probably Stampede and Kodo.
Yep.
Or Sunfury Protector.
Sunfury Protector rated a 52. Stampeding Kudo rated a 78.
Right, it's that 2 for 1.
Mana Wraith is rated at 30.
Mana Wraith is the kind of card that would be good and constructed. You can play your Mana Wraiths and a lot of other cards to kind of slow your opponent down, but we're all just playing creatures, so you don't want to play that.
Alright, quick look back over. We have 1 of the 0 drops, and then we have a pretty large glut of 1, 2, and 3 drops, followed by a few 4, 5, 6, and 7s. So,
yeah.
Seems pretty good.
Wolves, that's an airplane. We live in Huntsville, and Huntsville has it has an airport near it. So but we also have helicopters as well because we have a arsenal base near us. So those things will create noise. That's also the boom you heard earlier was ammunitions testing.
Yeah, they do some sort of testing over here where they explode things. So
we take it for granted. We just kind of ignore helicopters, giant explosions, planes, the rockets that litter our skyline. You know, just normal people stuff. All right, so here we're pushing Holy Nova and Sunwalker, right?
Yes, they won't let me click them fast enough.
Yeah, with our deck having a higher curve, we definitely want to push stuff. Right now, we have a great curve. We can play our Shire into our Neutron, or our Direwolf Alpha.
Either one.
Can we heal when things are at full health?
It does
To draw
draw
a
your card.
Okay, so it has to have damage to draw cards.
Has to have
It actually has to
damage
be
to draw a card.
healed, not just targeted by the ability. Is it whenever we heal any creature or just one of ours?
It's whenever any million, even theirs.
Oh, well, that's
See?
nifty. That can give us, niche areas to draw cards. Oh, a secret.
Secret. What could that secret be?
I don't know.
It probably does 2 damage or returns this to my hand.
Let's attack into it.
No. Secret for 2 mana. What does it do? Not sure.
Let's play Neutron.
Yes.
And the next turn we'll play Direwolf Alpha and be in a great place. Oh, is he get a copy?
4 damage to it.
Hey! That's a good trade for us.
That was great.
Huntsville is in Alabama. It's in northern Alabama. We're close to the Tennessee line.
Whenever a friendly please dies, gain +2/+1.
Yeah, we just play the Direwolf Alpha and attack our.
Annoyatron, probably.
I'd rather attack our 2/3 into it because then we can heal it if he doesn't do 1 damage to it. And it lets us hopefully draw a card. And if he kills it, he kills it. I mean, this is part of it. We can't. The rest of the cards he's probably just going to kill straight out. So having the potential for that.
We actually have a pain and a death in our hand. That's pretty good.
I think we go for the draw card here. It does set us back in the other guy, but we've got a lot of pressure on him. He's got to respond to us, and that Iron Fury will let us trade probably one of our cards for one of his cards, and that's it.
It's a pretty good turn. Drew an extra card, hit him for 6.
So we had a spike there earlier on viewers. We went up to I think 9 or 10, but Wolves has stayed with us consistently. So shout out to Wolves for never leaving our side.
Alright, so I'm just going to not do anything to that. With those things,
We can play the 4/4.
yeah, we can play a 4/5 or a 4/4 to give a minion +2 attack.
Yeah, let's just give the +2 attack to the Direwolf and attack last with the Direwolf and have the Direwolf trade for the 4/3. So attack him for 4 and then trade our Direwolf, and then he has to go ahead and attack our other guy. He's gonna put another guy down, but wow. Actually that might have been a misplay. We probably should have killed the creature and then see what his new guy was. Nah, that's fine. But we're lucky. I mean, it could have turned out much poorer.
Smite. I just totally smited it.
Yeah. I mean, our Neutron's worth decent resources. Next turn we'll be playing.
So he'll probably play something we can death or pain.
Oh, we finally killed it, which is fine. We got another card out of it. Did a lot of damage.
Give him +2 help and draw a card.
Great with any of our ones. I like it on our taunt card.
That's true.
It makes it just even harder for him to deal with it, and we draw the card right there. And we'll know if we want to do something else with it or not.
Might as well play it. 4 and a stealth guy.
Yeah. Get more bodies on the board is going to lead us to a quicker victory.
He must have gotten a poor draw.
It's the first match as well. We can be playing horror players. There are people worse out there than us.
I doubt it. It's not possible.
Maybe not. All right, so
Unlikely.
we want to attack our stealth guy first.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we just take our stealth guy in there, and that's it.
You want to just hit stealth guy into that, and then hit him?
Yeah, we want to attack with the stealth guy first in case he has some sort of trick. And then, yeah, we want to attack our 4/4 in first in case it returns it to our hand. Nope, that's fine. And I think we heal and play our cultist.
They've got quite a lot of removal in hand. They played nothing but 4 powered things. Quite funny.
Wolves. Huntsville is located close to Nashville and Atlanta.
First win. Second win. Something like that.
Yeah, it's a mid-sized American city. It's not one of the larger cities. It's nice. You know, it's a city. We do city things in it. Alright, we get to update our record from shameful to slightly less shameful, which is really what we want to be. Less shame is better.
Less shame, better.
What were the terms we used yesterday that we were talking about cards? We want to make that really clear. My girlfriend watched this and she was kind of confused on the terms for tempo, which we described as like the pace of the game of when you're playing stuff and how many of your mana crystals. You want to use all of your mana crystals every turn if you can, if it's also a good play, right? You always want to make the best play, but sometimes you'll lay down a secret or you'll put down a piece of equipment or weapon that is slightly vulnerable because you really want it out next turn and you want to be able to play everything. I would push the Holy Nova and the Stampeded Kodo. I wouldn't push the 4. I mean, the Dark Iron's really... You can't ask for a better 4, right?
I guess you're right.
I would always want 1, 3, 1, 4. And you are rewarded.
1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful.
Perfect. I think you just play them out in order.
Unless we draw something...
Unless they give us a reason otherwise.
Substantial, yes.
So tempo is kind of the pacing of the game. Here we have really good tempo because each card we're playing. And you can gain tempo by putting your opponent by that. If we have a card that said Sap is a rogue card that returns a card to its owner's hand, right? If Brad pays 5 mana crystals for a creature and we sap it, he's behind that whole turn. He didn't lose a card. In fact, we lost a card. But he lost all that tempo, and it lets us try to kill him before he regains by playing all those cards out. And the other thing is, we covered card advantage thoroughly. Mm-hmm. Did we talk about anything else?
Not that I can think of right now. It is hard to talk and play, though.
Yeah. We talked about Wraths. That's just a magic card. We'll sometimes use magic card terms. People, Wrath just means killing a lot of their creatures or having an effect that does a lot of damage and allows us to kill the creatures, which is why he's so big on our Holy Nova, is that 2 damage to his creatures can make a big difference. Where are we at right now?
So he's got a creature that will kill anything it touches, and
So
we've got no way to kill it currently.
We play a coin and we play our 4/4.
Oh, that's
And
a
then-
good plan.
And then we attack our...
And then the rage guy into that so that we keep our cleric.
Yeah, and if you play something else, that's fine. We're also in a spot now where we can just attack our 4/4 into whatever he plays and draw another card. The priest deck, the first 2 decks we played were very tempo-oriented, right? Our cards overall were weaker than our opponents, but we were trying to get them out quickly to take advantage. This deck is quite the opposite. We are a card advantage deck. We're trying to get as many cards out of our deck as possible, make each one of these cards count for quite a bit. What does the Shadow Word do? No, we can't do that.
Oh, you can't do the Shadow Word. We can play a taunt creature. We can play a Divine Shield creature. We can play a big mech.
I kind of like playing our Iron for Grizzly and punching him for 4. Because then we're trading with his 4 too.
That's true. Whereas this one won't trade, but we can trade these 2.
I would have the multiple 4/4s. Because if he doesn't have a good follow-up to kill our 4/4s...
So multiple 4/4s?
No, sorry. The multiple 4/4s after. I like having the taunt out. It's worse for us if he can kill our creature. But then we're just still trading. Well, I guess the other argument is the tempo play there would have been to play the 4/4 and then play our 2 and our 3 together. But I'm assuming we're going to have something to kill with that Shadow Word Pains. That was aggressive by him. That's a great card.
I like that card.
Given enough time, it will deal with anything we play. We're hoping to draw like a Holy Nova or something. Alright, so I like putting that on our 4/4 and playing that afterwards, seeing what we get. We might get something better. We can't silence the self thing, can we?
Can we? Looks like we can actually silence it.
Let's silence it.
No, apparently you can't. No.
It's good that they make us silence our own guy. Alright. And that puts him further away. If he's trying to wait for that creature to get enough power to kill one of our guys, he's waiting a lot of turns. He's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, we're hoping to end him before that happens. Or that he'll wait till it gets to like 4 and hit us, and then he'll turn to 5 and I can death it or something.
Yeah,
5 and I can death
it's
it.
just not going to turn out well for him. It's a good card, though. It's an early card you can play. The stealth will build up over time.
Ooh.
There you go. It's a good trade for him, right?
It's spare part, and it's a swap ninja attack and health. So we can swap this guy's attack and health, send it into him, but then he'll have a 4 to kill it, so it's probably not a good idea. We can just play a Divine Shield and a Taunt Divine Shield.
Yeah. Sounds great. We're probably going to use the swapping, recycling switch.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called.
Reversing switch. At some point, we'll either up with a creature that has well, it's not as useful as because we're not likely to end up with a creature with a high toughness and a low power where we could trade, but our opponent might have that situation as well. It can be good. It's situational. Like we might use it here. We're likely to actually. Oh, I didn't know that. Was nice. We're likely to use it on his 3/5 and then trade our Divine Shield for his 3/5. That's probably a good play. Probably as good as it gets. We can do that with Warbot, but I don't like that as much.
Well, especially if he doesn't attack here, we'll have the Divine Shield still, so. Or maybe we'll draw Shadow Word Pain and just go that.
This is surprisingly relevant for him. He just didn't know it.
Not very useful now.
We can use the recycling switch to make it an 8/2 if we need to do 8 damage out of nowhere.
We can switch its power and health and hit that.
We can just
We can
silence it.
continue hitting.
Because that has a plus ability, silencing should take that away.
So we can silence it and then flip its attack and health?
Yeah.
Now we can either kill this random guy, or we can continue to hit him in the face.
We should probably continue.
I think we should play this either way, though.
Play both those out. Yeah.
So 6 is still not enough to do that.
No, we're gonna be healing it. Anytime he unshads.
Anytime he doesn't kill it, we'll heal it.
Bye, wolves. Have a good time, man.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, we're gonna be recording these. We'll put them up. We'll be putting up a YouTube channel soon.
I actually already posted our first video to YouTube.
Good. What's the YouTube link?
I don't know off the top of my head, but if you search for our MobiusPick name, you should find it.
Right. We'll be putting those up there, and I think we're doing one more recording tomorrow for the 3 in a row, and then things will probably move to 1 or 2 times a week, and that'll be it. We'll be just playing some Hearthstone, getting our chops really in here, and once we're more comfortable, we'll open up Magic and let you guys check that out some too.
Yep.
See, this is where we need like a cult master or something. Jeez.
Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 apprentice.
Alright, well, we might want to heal, so let's wait on that. Let's look at our attacks first. Well, he's got an enraged creature, which is fine.
Well, so he's going to draw the 1 card, but I think we should probably kill the Cult Master.
What does the Shadow Word Death do? Is it 5 or more?
Yeah, it's 5 or more, which
Yeah.
he hasn't done yet. Except
So we take the 3/1 to the 3/3, then we kill the Cult Master, and then we throw the rest at his face. No, then we take the 2/7.
Well, so the 2 should go here, the 2/3.
Yeah, you just line up.
The 3/1 can go here, or the 4/6.
No, the 3/1 is what we want, right? Unless we're healing it. I guess the question is.
Heal it, though.
No. Our 4/6. Are we healing our 4/6 or are we healing our 2/7?
2/7's only taking 1 point of damage, so healing the 4/6 makes a lot of sense.
Well,
Healing the 4/6 means we do 5 to him, whereas healing the...
if we take it across, if we attack here, and attack here, and then we can attack there, and we heal. So we should do that quickly, though. So
Alright.
The 3/1, the 2, this to his face, and heal. Okay, that was a line of play we can take. And it's not a terrible line of play. It might not have been the best, but it's also not bad. It does let him kill the R2/8 now.
Yeah, but it takes 2 creatures, one of which he's been building for like 3 turns. So
He should go ahead and attack with that creature. It's not going to get any better.
I don't know. I really hope he doesn't get something crazy off of this.
No. He's not one.
8. Okay.
Alright, well, we're just Shadow Painted.
Yep. Charge Divine Shield. Not
Very,
bad.
very, very good. Not the attack I would have taken there. But still. It turned out very well for him. Now we're behind. I like that. It's a good 2.5 for 1, or even 3 for 1. Alright, the good news is we have, you know, a spell, and we can heal it. He's thinking about attacking. Attacking is not really that good, though. Alright, so we want to play the... No, we want to play the Shadow Word... No,
We
wanna
want
play
the death first, because we're deathing this no matter what.
But the Mad Bomber does 3 damage split.
Yeah, but we don't want it to do that one. Oh, but that. Oh well.
Which is fine. I don't know where. Sure.
That worked out really well. So now we can kill that if we want. And then heal.
Yep, and that's probably the best play.
Instruction begins.
And he's welcome to trade one of his creatures for ours. That's fine. We're still quite behind.
Well, so he's at 9 though. And we're at 30.
He's got the cards in hand, though. He's stabilized. So we've got to make sure that we're pushing forward.
We also made sure that that's 3. Pretty good.
2 for 1. Always a plus for
Nice.
him. Alright, so he got stuck with some rough picks. But this is the part where that card becomes quite good, right? He's put the time into making it a good card. So now...
Well, this is going to instantly die.
Why?
Well, it just takes the creatures out with it.
That's fine. And we have time.
You have quite a lot of time.
He's got to trade 2 of his creatures for it.
And he is top decking now, so that's pretty good.
He's probably going to trade his Arctic Commander and charge of his equipment, but that takes him down to 3.
He's not going to do a oh man, he's going down to 3?
Alright, we just need 1 creature with charge. He's trying to kill us before we can kill him. And he may get there. He's got a lot of power on the board. We only have a couple turns.
That's going to take out 2 of his creatures.
And do 2 damage to him. He's at 1. Let's put this in an okay spot. We still have to do the 1 damage, and we can definitely die before then. We're just trying to draw
Especially
something
since he
decent.
gains armor.
He should definitely doing his arm up.
Ooh,
Alright, this is it. We got 3 damage for this turn. Well, it's not quite it. We can get rid of his 3/4. We can heal. But we are running out of time.
Rapidly.
And this is the part about losing. Even though we're way ahead on life, it didn't really matter.
Once he stabilized.
Because it's stabilized. Yeah. And you can think that cards like the pay 2, deal 5 damage would have saved us, but in so many situations that card's not good. It's only good when we're trying to do that last bit of damage. Alright, we're at 5 damage or die. We have chosen or die. Sometimes it's going to shake out like that. Alright, I'm going to try to priest it up and get some water. Okay. So, talking about floors and ceilings a little bit more, when you're building a constructed deck, there's more synergy. So it's easier to reach your ceilings and it's also easier to mitigate your floors. But since we're playing a draft, a lot of times the floors are what are determining our cards more so than the ceilings. A little bit of that. That's a perfectly fine hand. A little bit of that is with we're not assuming worst case scenario always, but we're trying to say from assuming the best case scenario. We want to be somewhere in the average, right? If a card doesn't ask a lot for us, like Power Word Chill doesn't ask for a lot for us. It's always going to get us a card, so the ceilings or the floor is very low. Or sorry, the floor is very high. The worst it can be is pretty good. The only time that it's